Hey, welcome to A Case for Compose. This is creepy. I'm kind of looking behind the book. I just want to show you this chart in my book. And I will come back to this concept of whether or not you should cancel your conference or not, because I know many people are dealing with that, or whether you're going to go to the conference or not. But just take a look at this chart real quick, because what this is suggesting is that whenever we face pressure, there'll be a face to that pressure that will show up in one of three ways. One possibility is there'll be a pressure inside of you. I call it intrapersonal. So you'll feel the pressure, and it's gonna affect you. There's also the next level would be interpersonal pressure, where it's pressure between you and someone else, and then the final level would be the environmental pressure. And what I want to suggest is that, and I'm not going to get into all these different facets right now, although it's fascinating, but is that right now what we're experiencing is a tremendous amount of environmental pressure. That kind of the system of anxiety that's spinning around us is causing us to feel certain kinds of things. And probably the two parts of that that are most highlighted right now is the inside of you and the environmental piece that's setting that off. And here's the reality that's very interesting in what you're facing is that organizations who have done the preparatory work and even the kind of the foundational contracting or individuals within those organizations and leaders who have set up a developmental climate and culture are probably more agile right now. People that have said, things do change and some things don't are probably more agile than places where people feel stuck, where people feel like they're smart or not. People feel like they just don't have the capacity to move. And I think organizations who have worked harder in preparation for this are probably maybe doing a little bit better. But the reality is this: like with this environmental pressure increasing, I think one thing to realize is that this is what's going to happen. And as the days go forward, we're probably going to see an increase in the interpersonal, where that environmental pressure and how it affects you inside as a leader is going to start to affect your relationships and your ability to work with stakeholders. Let's take the example of whether you cancel your conference or not, just as a simple case in point. Is right now it's like, oh, we got to cancel our conference. Well, yes or no. I've seen people making different decisions, but it could change tomorrow. So the reality is we always needed to be prepared for that change to come. And so I just want to encourage you to think about your purpose in this moment is, if we could as leaders is to stand steadfast in the face of this change. It may be the most important thing that we can do. Even though we're going to have to make different kinds of decisions in the coming days, I get that. But the one thing that we have some control over is how we're showing up and our capacity to show up and realizing that our purpose is to be a calm and present and listening and connected, but also convicted presence as leaders as we make these decisions. That they may matter just as much as the decisions do. So I can't tell you whether or not to cancel a conference, but I can guarantee all of us, I think that things are likely to change. They were always going to. It just so happens to be that there's a lot of systemic pressure and anxiety that my hope is it doesn't cause us to become something that we never wanted to be in the first place. To be compulsive, to be combative, to over peacekeep, to conquer everything, or to hide, but to show up as the best version of ourselves. And so I hope you feel encouraged today. I know leading is hard right now, but you know what? We are ready for this. So yeah, I'm hoping for myself I do the same. So have a great day in spite of all that's happening. Have a great day, and may your decisions be wise and informed, as you think about all the stakeholders for whom you're responsible, because that's the toughest part of our job.